Peace, family. Black Power. Just want to share a little information and some insight. Um, and just want my family to know that I am with you. I'm not against you. Everything is done, you know what I'm saying, in love and with sound intention. So I'm about to say some things, and I don't want it to be misinterpreted. But as a people, there is just some things that must be said, and as a person who does get out and try to reach the family and sharing knowledge and trying to raise or increase our awareness. I really do see that there is some of us who just don't get it, who just don't understand, and don't have what we would like to define as a clue. Some of us are really in a real deep sleep. And so I just want to put out some things with the aspiration of shaking us up to make us think. So my only aspiration is to make us think and really to analyze our condition. I don't use the word, I don't identify myself as no African American, but for a lack of better expression, and also for us to all be on the same page, I'm going to use the expression, a terminology, African American. Before I begin, get deep off into the video, all praise, respect, worship, homage, and reverence be upon the great spirit of the universe, okay, in honor and recognition to our ancestors, or to the ancestors. Now, the thing is this: why? I pose a question: why? Why are we the way that we are? Why? I'm going to title this video, Why? And as I go into the video, I'm just going to throw out a list of whys in no specific order. But it's just going to be a bunch of whys with a little commentary. Why is it that the African American and other Africans, why is it, basically though, I'm just going to stay with African American, why is it that the African American basically is the only entity or person on race walking around, me included, walking around with names that are not our own names? Why are we the only ones, basically, that have names that do not reflect our origin, that do not reflect our culture, do not reflect our continent of home, which is Africa? Yes, Africa. That's the origin of man. How come? Why? Every other race or group of people, it's a few exceptions, but for the most part, they are born with their own name, and a name that reflects their place of origin or their beginnings, or a place or a name that reflects their ethnicity or nationality. You know, it speaks to their roots and culture. Why is it that when you go into Mexican restaurants, Asian restaurants, okay, white restaurants, why is it that when we go into these restaurants, you don't see no images hanging on the wall that does not reflect their complexion? You don't see any images on the wall that reflects other than their origins and their beginning, their culture. Why is it that you could go to a variety of churches on any given day, but you come to the black church and the God that we worship does not look like us? Does not look like us. And this is just the black church. You go to a white church, Jesus is going to be white. You go to a Mexican church and they're practicing Catholicism, it's going to look like them. You go to the black church, Jesus or God doesn't look like us. Why, when this issue is raised or pointed out that our God doesn't look like us, you are hit with a defensive? What does it matter? God doesn't mention color. God is not black. What does color have to do with anything? Why is it that the whole world over, on every single continent, is fighting, except for the black African American? Everybody else is fighting. Everybody else resists and in some kind of way makes a stand. Everybody except for the African American. Why? We have use the Palestinians for an example. They know they are fighting a foe, dealing with the Israelis, that just by the superficial look of things on the surface, one would reason that they can't win, one would reason that they're outnumbered, one would reason that they're outgunned technologically and dealing with weaponry. Okay, one would reason, and from the look would see that they will be lesser in number than the Israelis. But why? The point is, they still fight with whatever they can. Bottles, stick, rocks, sand, whatever, dust. They throw it. They throw it. It doesn't matter. They still fight. Why? Why is it that out of an 8 billion world population and of roughly 311 million U.S. population and approximately a 40 million black population, and approximately 40 million black population. But just forget all that. I'm just going to deal with the 8 billion world population. Out of an 8 billion world population, why is it that the African American, I'm focusing on African American, it involves African too, but I'm specifically focusing on the African American Holy Family. Why is it that out of 8 billion people, it's just basically the black African American does not have an economy that supports and sustains itself? Why is it that every other race has their own economy? Why is it? Why? These are serious questions. Why? Why is it that we make up the majority of the prison population? Why is it that we are still asking for a place at the table to eat, or still asking to be so-called allowed to enter through the front door? Why? What has happened to us as a people? I'm going to give a little commentary on some of the things that I said. Dealing with the Jesus concept and this white God concept, because for millions of years, the black family was the only beings on earth. Okay? And I use those examples of why and lead up to this commentary just to point out and make a clear picture and to give examples to clearly show that something happened to us and that we are not fully in an operative state and thinking. I'm trying to point out the spell that we are under. For millions of years, the black family was the only holy family on the earth. And with that being known, we know no way in the world is it possible for the image of divinity or for the image of God to be white. If you are the only family and only being on earth, that automatically would tell us that it's impossible for God or Jesus to be white. Impossible. But we go to the black church, and this is what color Jesus is. He is white. So we have been taken away from our holy divinity and our real connection and relationship to God, which is in essence only a real relationship to ourselves, have been broken. It has been broken for us to still follow that. To still follow that and go along with that, we have been broken. And family, you know that if you go into a church and talk about white Jesus, or try to encourage them to take the picture down, you will damn near get mobbed on. You liable to set yourself up for a mob attack. We know this is the truth. And I'm just pointing out, we would cling to that. Tooth and nail, we would cling to that. And scrap about that. Not wanting to let that go. Why? In this same book, in the Holy Bible, in Revelations, it describes hair like wool, feet like burnished bronze, and eyes like fire, etc., etc., etc. But these wise, wicked devils, the white man, really have us under a spell, because we could still read that in a book. Even though the book had been tampered with, we still could see this scripture in black and white, but we still will worship the white Jesus and the white God. Why? Point out the spell. Point out the spell. Because no matter even what the books say, we have been groomed and conditioned to interpret that book and try to make whatever it is of information that we hear. We have been conditioned to try to make everything fit in accordance to what we have heard and been taught and what we want to believe. We try to make every single thing fit into it. Okay? Millions of years, black family is the only people on the planet. Impossible for the image of God to be white. Okay? Even up until the 17th century, the white man was describing Africa as a dark continent. Why was he describing it as a dark continent? He was describing it as a dark continent because the interior of Africa, the white man never had penetrated it before. So even up until the 17th century, you had many of our ancestors that had never ever seen a white face. And when they did see them, they thought they were ghosts. They thought the white man was a ghost. They had never seen one before. When they seen white, they took off and fled. Just like in a movie. When they see a ghost and you see a pale look of horror on their face and they go another direction. That's what our ancestors did. Never seen them before. So we know that's impossible. But why? Everybody across the world is fighting except for the African American. Now we on Black Lives Matter. I do respect those that is involved in Black Lives Matter, because they're being heard, they're taking a stance, and they operating out of pure intentions and motives. But Black Lives Matter, that's the same thing as we shall overcome. We still are making an appeal to the enemy. We still are making an appeal to the foe. We still are making an appeal to the power or white supremacy system of society and asking for a place at the table. We still begging to be a part of. We still asking to be let alone. Why? Nobody else is doing this. But why is the African American doing this? What I'm pointing out is that we are in a deep sleep and our spirits have been removed. Our spirits have been removed. We are not, our spirit has been removed. Where is our spirit? Where is our spirit at? What happened to it? What's going on? Where's our spirit at, family? We used to have spirit. Even in the civil rights era, even in the Reconstruction period, even post-Reconstruction, we had spirit. We had spirit. What happened to us? I know what happened to us. We have been put to sleep. And the relationship with ourselves have been broken. And the relationship with self is the relationship with the supreme being of the universe. It had been severed. And once that was severed, we quit seeing the divinity in ourselves. And when you quit seeing the divinity with yourself and you lose that connection with yourself, then you automatically don't like what it is that you see that reflects you. When you was under this type of spell, that was under, you cannot go against the little white boys and the little white girls, because you set yourself up to accept your chastisement as being divine chastisement. Okay? You accept your chastisement as being divine chastisement, and since God is white, right, you will have to figure that, well, the little white boys and the little white girls, they must be God's favorite. They must be the chosen. It must be for them to have where they are, be where they are, okay? And it's okay for us to receive the punishment or the ass kicking that we do, because it's ordained. Okay? Why? Why does the black African American, we are the only one that have to have a Buy Black campaign? Why are we the only ones that have a Buy Black campaign? We have to have a Buy Black campaign. Why? Nobody else has a Buy Asian campaign. Asia does not have a Buy Hispanic campaign. The European does not have a Buy White campaign. Okay? And then if enough dollars is not being spent in white America and a white man is not getting enough money, then they come with the subterfuge, okay, or the scheme or the deception of Buy American, Buy USA. You see what I'm saying? So that's to reroute or redirect the dollars to make sure that they recycle. But for the most part, nobody has a buy this campaign. Why? What happened to us? Why? Where is our spirit? Where is it at? Where is it at? Why is it that we got churches proliferate black neighborhoods just like liquor stores does? And the church is rich, and everybody claim to be in the light and in the spirit, but surrounded by poverty. Why? I'm just posing some questions. Why? What happened to us? What is going on? Our spirit, where is our spirit at? And this has nothing to do with us being lazy. I don't believe that. I don't believe the black man is lazy. That's not the problem. It ain't cause of laziness, and not cause of lack of wanting to work, not having a job. Those are not the reasons for the Holy Black family being in the state and the conditions that we are in. Those are not the reasonings. Okay? It's systematic white supremacy. Point blank. Systematic white supremacy in that glass window that they keep hovering over you. Okay? But mentally, we got to get back. We got to get back in shape. We got to get back in shape. And the way that we get back in shape, family, we got to come back African-centered thinking. We got to get in connection with our roots, our culture, heritage, some kind of way, if we truly want to get free and get liberated. And that's simple. That answers all of the whys. What happened to us in history has never happened to nobody on the planet. I don't care what they went through. I don't care if they did experience slavery. I don't care how many of them was slaughtered, massacred during the Holocaust. I don't give a damn. Because of the magnitude and the level of intensification that it took place with the black man is unmatched. Nobody had their name, culture, language, and identity snatched from them. We was completely stripped and made to be like a blank computer chip ready to receive the program. Okay? That's us. Completely stripped. Nobody had that happen to them. Nobody. 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 Why is it that the Japanese was taken up into internment camps during the Japanese War? They was put in prisons, concentrating camps. But, you know what? They got reparations. They paid them back. In other groups, they were persecuted by the American imperialistic system, received reparations. Why not the black man? Why? You see, it's something very special about us, that we always remain the focus and the target. All of these things need to be weighed and considered. Why? Why? You know, where is our spirit at? Where is the spirit at? Where is it? Everybody claiming to be in the light and having the truth and awake and everything else, but look at our condition, look at our state. What is going on? Why? This is just, I'm really trying to contain myself. So I don't want to be misinterpreted. I don't want to come off the wrong way. But this is serious though. We got to examine these whys. Now we're going back. It's 2015. Y'all have to kind of see how history repeats itself. It's 2015, and now it's another Million Man March coming up. I ain't gonna tell nobody not to participate in it. But the Million Man March, though, that was in 1995. And the Million Man March, I equate that on the same level of civil rights struggle dealing with the marches. Why? Why is there a need for a Million Man March? That's the big question. Why? 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 We have to really analyze and look at what is going on in Black America. Why is there even a need for it? I don't think a million men need to come together in one spot. I don't. Not unless they moving out and we really booting up type stuff. But other than that, that's been there, done that type stuff. You know, and with the state and condition that we are in, man, if they want to wipe out 1 million people right there and really jump it off, they could do that. You see what I'm saying? Now you just got 1 million men right there together, vulnerable, etc., etc., etc. Why? Only thing we need to do is come back to this real knowledge of self and honoring our ancestors and and form a real relationship with ourselves, which will bring us to the real God and life force of the universe that we have the intention and what we think we're doing in our minds when we pray into these houses of worship. We got to reestablish the relationship with ourselves. That's what we must do. Why, when the knowledge and the light hit Nat Turner, it made him mobilize and move out? What type of message of gospel did he receive? Martin Luther King, when he was touched by the light or the gospel or the message, when he was touched by it, we seen what happened to him. He mobilized and moved out. So I'm showing a changing, you know, in our spirit. What happened to our spirit? So we have to really look at what type of message are we receiving, what are we indulging in, because something just is not connecting and hitting home. There's a disconnect. Something ain't right. Something is not right. Why? You know, just seriously ponder over what are, you know, some of the things that I threw out there, family. I'm going to get ready to wrap it up and close out. You know, think over the whys, and there's just so many whys that could be thrown in there. You know, but those are some of the ones that I judge to be the major ones. You know, my goal is to try to keep the video short, or in ease in the 30 minutes before I know it. You know, but fam, I want the best for us. It's time for us to do better. We got to do better. You know what I'm saying? We have to get more resolute and firm. Okay, standing up and really just taking a stance. Because other than that, no, I'm not even feeling it at all. I'm not feeling it at all, and I'm very discontent. I'm just gonna say that I'm very discontent and concerned about the Holy Black family.